Hello Beauty News family, welcome to another chit chatty, sit down, have fun with us video. Today we're doing something, we've never done anything like this before, and we thought we would just see if you guys enjoy it, because we often talk about things like this in private but not on camera. So we're going to show you and discuss some makeup fails that we have found on TikTok, because they're funny. I want to start with a funny one.
I did see this. I did see this one.
You
yesterday.
did see this?
Yeah, okay.
This is from,
Ready?
yeah.
Do we want to play?
Go. Yeah, go.
I've got, where did it go? Oh, I glued my hair.
I love
Oh, God.
It's like a
That's so good. I love her.
Her hair was stuck in her lash glue, essentially.
Yes. Yeah. This is the kind of girl that I'd want to have a glass of wine
I
with.
agree.
She
100%.
she looks like she's out with her friends having wine. We will link all of the accounts below. I mean, this is a makeup fail, but this can happen to anyone. And it's so easy to not realize that you're doing it. And then you're like, wait, what is this thing that's like
What's
tickling
this thing
my
stuck
face?
in my
And then-
lashes?
Yeah.
Can I
love
say,
it.
though?
I think it's great.
I think I'd actually prefer something extra stuck in my lashes than my lash glue not sticking to my eyelid, because the flappy lashes are worse than a random rogue hair that you're like puppeting
100%, I
fucking
agree.
Ernie and Bert. That just reminded me of Ernie
Yes,
and Bert's like, the eyebrows.
Yeah. And also, if you're like out and about and one of your lashes has like come off, like half
The
off,
worst.
there's no fixing that unless you carry lash glue with you. So, yeah.
And then if you take it off and it leaves that fleshy line,
Nah,
because
yeah, you're fucked.
it's pulled off your liner, you're screwed.
yeah, nah, it's
Yeah.
fucked. You're
Okay,
you're
this
just
next
fucked.
one, I'm just going to say my favorite thing that I engage with on TikTok, and I don't watch much beauty content, it's when people make a big statement about how ridiculous something is, but then they don't realize that they're actually completely wrong, and like everyone in the comments is like, but...
To the woman in NARS who said that this was my skin tone, are we taking the piss?
So,
Are
yeah.
we taking the piss? As players, I'm now looking at my arm and I'm like, fuck,
That's
maybe it
her
is my
skin tone. I don't
Exactly
know what
right.
she
So
wants.
essentially, this chick was shade matched with a NARS foundation and then got on to be like, this is like, look how is this person taking the piss? But then all
Yeah.
the comments are like, that's the best color match I've ever seen. And I'm like,
I
it
have to
actually
agree.
is. Where she looks dead is what happens to me every day of my life when I have to cancel out redness, is that you cancel out redness so much that you got to put color back on afterwards.
Correct.
So like the blush
Yes.
or like bronzer or whatever.
Yes.
So she's at the
Yeah.
basic stage where you've blanked out a lot of the redness. But that
Mm-hmm.
100% is like such a good color match. And it's
That's
just so
colour-
funny that she's like, look at it, I'm dead. And it's like, well, that's just
Yeah,
skin. Like,
that's your skin color.
Yeah.
But when I was looking for, videos and stuff of makeup fails, there were so many that were like a wrong color match.
yeah.
But this is like a perfect color match. Whoever the person was who was selling her this foundation, like they were spot on. They know what they're doing. She just doesn't realize how pale she is. And a lot of us don't. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, I suppose she
Well, the internet
Sure.
told her. But I have to say as well, like, I suffer from this as well. So what happens, and I've
So
seen
do
other
I.
videos of her where she's got redness in her face. So it looks like she's got a lot more colour. Now, I've had so many people on the internet tell me, oh, that's the wrong colour for you. It's too light. You should be going a more pink foundation to match your cheeks. And I'm like, no, because then I look like I'm wearing a pink mask and the rest of me is
That's
quite
right.
light and olive toned.
That's right.
So the fact
Yeah.
that this was perfectly matched to her arm and neck, this shows that this is her undertone, but she's got a lot
Yes.
of redness that comes through that makes it look different and makes it look more dynamic. But
That's right.
we then follow up with cheek products for a reason to minimize this
absolutely.
Edward
Yeah.
Cullen look.
You
Yeah.
have when you're like blanking out a canvas and making it like one color, you then have to bring back
Yeah.
things to add definition and to bring back facial features and stuff like that from the brink of
Corpse.
death, essentially. Yeah, because that's how it is when you are really, really fair, you know, like you get that like canvas all nice and smooth. You get rid of all of the imperfections and the redness and all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I am white like a bed sheet. All right. Incoming. This is just what can happen to some people when they are just not experienced with certain products. Even if you're experienced with makeup, sometimes things
So she's trying for
can
the
go
first.
terribly wrong.
That looks like she's got poop smeared on her face. That's the color of her hubby's t-shirt. That's also why I no longer contour. Firstly, even if I have more experience than like trying this for the first time, on my skin tone, it either looks like dirt or it looks like shit. Like I can't make it work very well, and it's too much.
I know. I feel really bad for this girl because the problem is, like, often we see people doing their makeup on, like, you know, platforms like TikTok and YouTube and stuff. And they'll, like, dot it all over their face or they put on, like, tons of product. And realistically, like, their makeup is probably super, super thick and heavy at the end of it. And it probably took them, like, 20 to 30 minutes to blend it all out and make it look good on camera. They're probably also flooded with artificial and or natural lighting. And I feel like this girl, like, she's not necessarily done the wrong thing knowingly. You know, this is just like, I've just gone too hard, too fast. Yeah.
But can I just say, though, on the back of that, I want to send you this one because this one is an example of what you're sort of talking about. But someone doing it on purpose, I think it's just to trigger the internet. I feel like this is an example of like the current day version of like dropping the Fasali drops on your face. Like you actually have to start your makeup with some ridiculous thing that stops people from going, is she a burns victim? Like, is this like slabs of meat under her eyes? And she's claiming that this is how she starts her makeup with like a wine liquid blush.
God,
and then
what is
completely covering it with foundation and concealer. Now, the thing that I find interesting about this as well is that we talk about like these days, like 2024, 2025 makeup is a lot like lighter and fresher and people mock 2016. This is worse than 2016 makeup.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. I feel like this has got to be rage bait.
It's got to be.
Surely. Like, what are you even doing? And that, I do not believe that looks good in real life.
No way.
Like,
and she's going to have the floating plum face. And even if her makeup looks okay at the very start of the day, because she's got like maximum coverage on there, as the oils and stuff start to come through, it's going to start mixing and you're going to look like a bloody beetroot. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I can't understand what the mindset behind it is. Like, why do you think that this is a good idea? I mean, I understand that she likes the way that the color comes through under her foundation, but the whole purpose of applying makeup and like layering it is not to use like really, really high coverage, thick, intense and pigmented products. It's like less is more. Mm-hmm. You can get this same effect by just using, you know, thin layers of products that are the color is still there
to mix well together. And it's probably going to look so much better because I think this girl has had quite a bit of Botox because she doesn't have any like movement up in the top half of her face. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but what I am saying is if you don't have that Botox or it's starting to wear off, that is going to look so thick around your face when you smile and stuff like that. Like, it's a no.
But not
it's
to
a no
mention,
from me.
not to mention that it also is probably going to take her like half an hour just to blend out that bloody blush.
I can't.
I don't have time for that. I spend
I don't have
maximum
time.
10 minutes on my makeup every day. And if something
Yeah.
I need to cover entirely with like a full coverage foundation to make it work, like
Yeah.
you're going in the bin. I'm not ever reaching for
Yeah,
you ever again.
I agree. All right, I've got another one that's kind of similar to what this girl was doing. This, I feel like this is rage bait, and also she did this on purpose, and she deserves everything she gets with this.
Oh, actually, this looks familiar. Not this one, but this is a thing. This is a thing. I've noticed looking for these videos, putting lip stain on your face is a thing. Okay.
No.
Do I think it's for the views? Absolutely. However, Hailey, I've got another one for you, which incoming. Okay, so I think what that was doing was this video went very viral where this person is like contouring with a bright red lip stain. And
Right.
it looks again like she's just had surgery or been like attacked. So I think this is like something that's very visual that people will like click on. But I think this person is actually pretty good at makeup. So when you actually do see the final result, it looks very good. She looks like a filter, like she looks like a doll.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
she's got that sort of like sunburnt blush thing going over her face. But could you replicate that in a much easier way with just a powder or a
Yes.
cream? Absolutely. So this is where it's like spending 20 minutes doing these like marks and doing this and then wiping it off, and it just seems like so much work. And then I've seen
A
also
lot,
people
yeah.
that are doing that kind of stuff and then they wipe it off and then it smears over their face, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know, you can just take a powder product or a cream product and just like create that very
Tap it.
easily. And I do
Yeah.
think that what this is misleading is I'd love to see a video where she's actually removing the makeup, like removing the stain,
yes,
applying the rest of her makeup. Because did she do the thing that that person with the wine blush did where she completely covered
Yeah.
it anyway and
Yeah.
put other blush over the top? And my guess is probably because that wasn't even where the placement of the stain was.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of thing, like underpainting has been a thing for a long time where you like put colors under your foundation. It's meant to make things look more seamless and blended and stuff like that. But if you are good at blending and you're using the right amount of product and the right types of products, it's easy anyway. Like, you don't have to go to that sort of extent. You don't have to draw this thing on your face to then put your foundation over. And also, like, the problem with it is if you've applied a little bit too much in a certain spot and you're having difficulty blending it out, there's nowhere to put it. Like, it's under there. Like, you have to then just tolerate it, put on more foundation to like mute it down, which just means you're getting thicker and thicker makeup. And this is fine when you're young and smooth, but it's not for everyone, okay?
Yeah.
It's not for you. It's not for us. We don't do this.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Which actually, that exact point, I'm actually going to share my sort of last one with you because I came across this one. I thought it was quite funny. Again, this is an example of when people come to TikTok and they're like, someone said this, like, how ridiculous.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, But this is an interesting one because I think her journey's kind of cool. This is an example of when you are slightly older, heavy makeup makes you look absolutely horrible and you don't realize you have a bit of makeup blindness going on because that's the way you sort of used to do it. So essentially what this one is, so she's 40 and was a bit like offended that someone asked her if she had kids or grandkids. And it's simply like she's wearing a lot of makeup, like heavy, really powdered. I'm sure she like, she probably follows a lot of techniques that we grew up with, sort of like, you know, the baking era, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure she probably spends a boatload of makeup.
Yeah.
But what I liked about this though was that she actually took a lot of the tips from people who were like, actually, you do look really old and it's because of your makeup. And then she documented a journey of like improving her makeup.
Oh,
I thought was really cool. So I'll show you an update. So with this particular one, you can skip a bit of it, but she's showing the transformation of what she's learnt through people's recommendations and testing. So she's got half the face of her old heavy makeup, which makes her eyes look like she's in her 60s. Let's be real.
Yes.
And then if you skip to the part where she reveals Hailey.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it really lifts her face,
Looks
doesn't
so
it?
different. So I really love this because she's gone on there being like, I don't like, how ridiculous is that? And people are like, actually, they're telling the truth. And she's totally transformed the way she does her makeup and looks so much fresher and younger by updating her makeup routine. And it probably took a lot less time, a lot less product. The other side is the equivalent of the people caking on those blushes and just because. Yes. And then you learn that technique. You don't know how to get rid of it. You hit your 40s. It does not look good. And you
it doesn't.
need to completely retrain yourself. So I thought that was a really interesting journey that she's just taken all this feedback. I thought it was really cool.
Absolutely. And the thing is, so many women are going to go on that journey. Like, I have been on that journey. I have completely changed, like, what I know works for me. I probably had a little bit of a leg up because I already had prior knowledge because when I, learned when I went to makeup school, basically, they teach you. They teach you what works well for mature skin and what to avoid and things that, will age somebody or make them look drier or whatever. But if you're not ready for that and you don't already have experience, like, it will just sort of sail past you and you will just keep doing the same thing over and over, following these trendy makeup application techniques, and they just do not work for everyone. And also, it's not necessarily just something that happens to you as you get older. Like, some people just, like, it doesn't suit them, It's not for everyone. So I love that. I think it's great that also the internet was like, no, girl, doesn't look good. And she took that on board because that is just going to, it's going to make her look and feel better about her life. And nobody's going to be asking about her fucking grandchildren when she doesn't have any.
Yeah, she did give an update where she then said that someone told her that she looked too young to have like a 17-year-old. So it's gone from like people asking her if she's a grandmother to being like, how can you have a 17-year-old? You look so young. So the fact that it's...
I love that.
But it also shows the power of makeup.
Nice.
Like, makeup is there to be a way that we can express ourselves. But ultimately, makeup is there. It started as a way to enhance features. Yes. And I think sometimes people get really bogged down in, well, this is what my artistic expression is saying. But then sometimes you need a bit of reality check and you go, okay, I need to tweak this because maybe it actually doesn't work for me. And I need to incorporate those elements that I enjoy in a way that does actually suit my style and my face and my skin.
I agree. I am sending one to Kat that I think, if you have never had your makeup done professionally before, this could be a valuable lesson for you. If you are planning to become a makeup artist, this could be a valuable lesson to you as well.
I haven't seen this one, so I'm excited.
What we are about to see is something that happens very, very often. Yeah. Looks a bit violent, doesn't it? It's a bit like, look.
Do you know what doesn't do this? The Pat McGrath model.
Yeah.
That would be me. Yes.
Yeah.
That, I could feel that. I could feel that, like, in the core of my stomach. It's just like,
This happens to the best of us. Whether you're a makeup professional, whether you're doing your own makeup, having your makeup done, like, it happens. But I have a very valuable tip to give you guys. If you're ever having your makeup done by a professional and they don't tell you to do this, you should do it anyway. If they're doing any work around your eyes, whether they're applying eyeliner, mascara, anything, basically you want to look in the opposite direction, or you want to direct your eyes in the opposite direction of the tool that they are using. So if they're applying mascara to your lashes, they might, be lifting up your brow. You want to look down. If if they're applying mascara to your lower lashes, look up and not like this. We're not doing that, all right? It's looking with your eyes. If they are applying something in the outer corner, like this makeup artist was applying mascara to the outer lashes, look in the opposite direction, because the part of your eye that is going to have this very natural reflex, which it's a protective reflex to blink, to like prevent your eye from taking damage. You're not going to be able to stop yourself from doing it. It's a protective reflex, but that happens around the iris and the pupil area, specifically the pupil area. Once something starts getting too close to the pupil, the body just goes into fight or flight. And when you're sitting there like that, it's kind of flight, which is close the eyes and protect them. So always just direct your pupil away from the tool. That's the best advice I can give you when doing this. And you will, not only will the application be easier for the makeup artist, it will feel more comfortable for you and you won't have any makeup boo-boos like this. Okay, this one, it can happen to the best of us. I won't say any more.
Oh, at least it matches her top.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I wish I can't say I haven't been there recently. I have.
Yeah.
And it's been with the same
really?
bloody powder in a different colour.
Really?
That actually is a really messy powder, I'm just going to say. And I wasn't even trying to pop the inner part off with the mesh. When you buy one of the Huda powders, it comes with that, that seal thing that you need to like pull out. But it's so tight that you have to like get like tweezers and you pull it and then like a puff of like the powder comes because it's really quite fully packed, but also it just comes out of the mesh very easily. But I love it. She's just like, fuck it, we're just gonna keep going. Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna pick it up from my legs and just like bake my under eyes.
But I was wondering, I'm like, why is she trying to take the sifter off?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if she just didn't realize that the mesh, like potentially she's touched it and she's been like, there's no product coming out. But I do know that I think the mesh on them is very fine, isn't it? Like it's designed
It's not as bad as other ones that I've tried where it's hard to get it out. Potentially also what she's doing and this is just a guess, but by maybe baking, maybe she wants the direct contact with a lot of powder. And,
potentially.
And then I have heard that the packaging of these have been updated so they're easier to remove. So you're not doing that kind of thing and it's going everywhere. So I
feel bad for her. But like you said, at least it matches her top. So she may have been able to save that. Salvage the scenario. Yeah, I think we've all been there.
Definitely.
Poor girl. All right, guys. So we do hope you enjoyed that. Let us know what you thought. And if you have any other like makeup fail favorites that you really love, feel free to let us know what they are in the comments section. We will link all of these creators' accounts in the description box as well. So if you want to go and check any of them out or follow along on their journeys, you can easily do that. You can easily find them. I loved it. I think my favorite was the hair, the eyelash girl. Yeah, bless her. I feel like I want to do it on purpose. It's
I know, so
one on each eye.
Yes. Just big lashes and you're like
I wonder if you could do like a mock facelift with that. Alright guys, we're gonna leave that there. We hope you enjoyed it. We will see you in the next one. Bye.
Next week. Bye.